Hare Krishna. Chapter 12, Devotional Service. Yes, Chapter 12 is entitled Devotional Service, and we know that the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita are about devotional service, and now this concludes with certain very important questions that relate to bhakti, as well as the types of bhakti that are practiced. And then interestingly, Krishna talks about alternates to bhakti yoga, as well as how he relates to people who may or may not be devotees with good qualities, and ultimately concludes with who in Krishna's vision is considered to be the best person, the person dearest to him. So today we're starting on step 1, and this is verse 1 and 2. I'll just read the Sanskrit. Let me read Arjun's question. Arjuna vacha evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupashate ye chapi aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Now this is not a new question. And it's a perennial question. It's a topic, an issue that comes up time and time and time again. Many people who are connected with the yoga scene hear about the Bhagavad Gita, but their focus of meditation is generally some kind of impersonal thing, and even they get an impersonal explanation of this from their impersonal guru, that the Supreme ultimately is some impersonal energy, and any personal manifestation is just that. It's just a manifestation of that energy. And that the goal or self-realization is to become one with everything, or to lose your identity. These are different alternatives. And the sort of wishy-washy, as sometimes the terminology is used. You may not be familiar with that, but it's something that my spiritual master used. Or the sort of free-flow explanation for the divergence of opinions is, well, ultimately it's all one. We all go to the same place. So Arjun's asking just about this very topic. Are they all the same? Which is actually better? And Krishna then answers the question in a sequence of verses. I'll just read the first and then summarize the others. In verse 2 he says, Mayavesham anoyemam nitya yukta upasate shadaya pariopetas teme yuktatama mataha. Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great transcendental faith are considered to be by me, to be most perfect. So if we're talking about self-realization, if we're talking about perfection, and if we're talking about attaining the pinnacle of spiritual attainment, in other words, what is it that we're supposed to be going? Is school about grade school? Is it about high school? Or is it actually about university? So now Krishna very clearly gives the answer. And here are some words that he uses. Nitya yukta upasate, those who are engaged in upasana, in worship of me. He's using very similar words that Krishna used at the end of the 6th chapter. Now I remember the run-up to the 6th chapter, the previous chapters were all about different types of yoga. Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then, of course, Bhakti Yoga is also mentioned, and then Ashtanga Yoga is also here. And Krishna's concluding, saying, Shadavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all these yogis, yoginam api sarvesham, Shadavam bhajate yogam. Those who are worshipping me with faith. Now he's using a similar word, upasate, worship, and he follows it up with Shradaya, those who with faith worship me. So once again, Krishna is repeating himself, and he's explaining, now from a philosophical point of view, before it was from a practice point of view, that this philosophy and these practitioners of the philosophy, the bhakti yogis who worship him with faith and devotion, they are the best. And that is what the actual goal of Bhagavad Gita is, and that is what yoga is all about. And Krishna again uses the same word. So previously he says, Same yuktatamo mataha, and he says, Teme yuktatamo mataha. Sa, those, te, then they. They are the most. Yuktatamo mataha. They are the best. Most perfect in yoga. Yukta tamaha mataha. That's my opinion. Krishna's opinion. So Krishna is saying they are the most perfect. What about these others who are practicing austerities and yoga and meditation? Krishna says, well, fine. They also achieve an attainment. But remember, here we said most perfect. They can achieve a certain perfection. They can achieve the perfection of their particular discipline. But what is that perfection? Well, the maximum is that they will attain liberation. They will enter into that impersonal meditation that they're hankering for. They'll enter into that impersonal feature of the Absolute, and we've discussed that they can attain. But what's the difference between the two? He says that it's very, very difficult. He uses the word klesha adhikarayetistam. Those whose minds are attached to the unmanifest, impersonal feature, to make progress is very difficult for those who are embodied. So Krishna says, not only is it an inferior destination, but it's very difficult. Not only is it very difficult, but it's much more difficult. And Krishna therefore gives a comparison. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, for them, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So there's a real comparison here between Bhakti Yoga and these different types of meditative yoga practices. Bhakti Yoga, Krishna describes as being very easy, or comparatively easy, and the results come quickly. And this impersonal meditation, whatever form it may take, Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Hot Yoga, Ostrich Yoga, you name it, then all of these yogas are very difficult if they're authentic, because there's no such thing as Ostrich Yoga, and there's no such thing as Hot Yoga. But if they're authentic, then the perfection is very difficult. It takes a long time, and it's inferior. Whereas with Bhakti Yoga, the destination is topmost, it's relatively easy, and it's quick. But take your choice. It's up to you.